there was a cat that came to see Leon. He had a CD in his hand, and he said, yeah, I'm about to go take this meeting with Leon because, you know, I'm trying to get on. He said, you know, I rap and sing. And I'm like, for real? And I said, let me hear something. And I said, what's your name? And he said, oh, my name is Domino. I'm from Long Beach.
I had to fire one up for the LBC, pour me a little drink, because today we're talking about one of the biggest success stories to come out of the legendary Bangin' on Wax movement. And he's from my city, my hometown, my place of birth, the place where I spent the majority of my childhood. Long Beach. Most people know him as Domino, but before Getto Jam, before Sweet Potato Pie, I'm that guy, she's so fly, gotta get his face of that sweet potato pie. And before becoming a platinum-selling West Coast rapper, he recorded under a different name, Genuine Draft.
When he rapped and sang, I was like, this dude is like the dopest dude I ever heard in my life.
Now, long before the world knew who Domino was, he was one of the very first voices. Actually, I think he was the very first voice that you heard on the original Bangin' on Wax album. He set the album off nicely. His voice automatically stood out, and everyone after him had to set he set the pace for everyone coming after him. So today I want to talk about his entire journey, from growing up in Long Beach to helping launch one of hip-hop's most controversial projects, to becoming one of the biggest West Coast rap stars of the 1990s. I personally called him Nate Dogg before Nate Dogg, and no disrespect to Nate Dogg, but he was kind of doing his thing before Nate Dogg was. So fire one up, pour yourself something, and let's talk about Domino. Now, Domino was born in 1972 in St. Louis, Missouri. While he was young, his family, like a lot of families, moved out west. Specifically, they moved out to Long Beach. A lot of people from the Midwest, from down south, were moving to the West Coast for jobs and a better way of living. And a lot of folks found it. And one of those biggest cities that people migrated from, and it's a city that my mom, who was originally from the Midwest, Indiana, came out to, Long Beach, California. Now, Long Beach was becoming one of California's most important hip-hop cities. Little did we know before the Dominoes came around that this city would eventually produce artists like Snoop Doggy Dogg, Warren G, Nate Dogg, Daz, and a host of others. Growing up in Long Beach, Domino developed an interest in music while also becoming affiliated with the Blue Team. In the early 90s, producer Ronnie Phillips, R.I.P., began organizing what would become Bangin' on Wax, one of the most controversial, amazingly done projects in the history of not only West Coast hip-hop and hip-hop in general. You had real people from the red side, you had real people from the blue side, all on one album. Now, Domino auditioned for the project.
I took Domino downstairs to Battle Cat, and Battle Cat was, working on his beats and stuff. And a lot of people don't know, if Battle Cat are in beat mode, you do not disturb Battle Cat when he in beat mode. I was like, I ain't trying to hear what Cat talking about. I'm like, look, you need to hear this dude. He like, look, all right. And I was like, no, you need to hear this dude. And he wouldn't listen. So I stopped the drum machine, and Cat jumped up like he was finna fight me. And I said, nah, you ain't gonna fight me, bro, because you're gonna thank me in a second. And I told Domino to rap. Everybody in the building lost their mind. It was like, man, can you please be on this Bangin' on Wax project? We sat down and we wanted to ponder a little bit on the name for him, because we said, we don't want to call you Domino. You need a dope name. You need something dope. And I asked him where he was from. He said, I'm from Long Beach 20 Crip. Domino had bought some Miller Genuine Draft beers. And he was drinking, and then Tweety was looking, and he was like, man, he said, you like them Millers, huh? And he said, yeah, man. He said, I love these genuine drafts.
His open verse immediately introduced listeners to the Blue Team. He also appeared on several other songs throughout the C-Sides project. And every song he was on, dare I say, he had the best verse. And I just thought it was so cool that he was representing Long Beach, a city that I was born and lived the majority of my childhood in. So to hear him say Long Beach on a record, not only that, one of the biggest projects in the world at that time, Bangin' on Wax, was really cool to me, in my opinion. Keep in mind, I'm 14 years old. So these are the type of things that excited a young 14-year-old hip-hop artist. Now, Tweety Bird Loc was on the album. Sin Loc was on the album. They would receive a lot of the attention up front. But Domino's smooth delivery gave the project a more polished sound. Many lifetime fans believe his performances helped give the album mainstream appeal. The album was released in 1993, and it became one of the most talked about underground rap albums ever released. At that time, it reportedly sold more than 400,000 copies, which was amazing back then for any project. Not to mention, yes, it was selling in stores, but I bet that thing was being recorded and dubbed probably 4, 5, 6 times that. 7, 20, probably 20 times that. Everybody had this tape from the West Coast to the East Coast and everything in between. And this little old tape here produced B's and C's in all over the country. Probably the world. No exaggeration, probably the world, but definitely all over the country. I know people personally who are from other places, and they told me as soon as Paru Love came out, the next day everybody was Paru, and there was Paru sets everywhere. And it's just amazing what this album did, and looking back, it's just really cool that he was the first rapper heard on the album. Now, not long after Bangin' on Wax, Domino signed a major label recording deal, and he dropped the Genuine Draft name, and he simply became Domino. His self-titled album came out in 1993, and this is when I was in it to win it when it came to hip-hop, especially West Coast hip-hop music, because at this time, ladies and gentlemen, the West Coast was ruling the planet. 1993, we were at the top of our game. Chronic was out. I mean, there's so many albums that came out in 1993. Let me look this up. Hip-hop albums that came out in 1993. What came out in 1993? Oh, damn it. I picked the wrong thing. Hold on. Rap out. Here we go. Rap albums, 1993. All right, we had Doggy Style off top, leading the way. We had Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers. We had Tribe Called Quest. We had Souls of Mischief. Cypress Hill, Onyx, Back the Fuck Up. So many albums in 1993. And in the midst of this, Domino comes out and drops Getto Jam. One of the hardest songs to this day. It stays on my 90s summer, just chill Sunday playlist. Getto Jam is about to slam with some help from the diggity D. As I see what's really going on and what to mess with me. It's Saturday morning, I'm just getting up with the hangover, feeling high as fuck. Man, that song was dope. Takes me back to a great time. But that song reached the top 10 on the Billboard Hot 100. Then shortly after that came a song that I really didn't care about, but it was probably just as big as Getto Jam, but Sweet Potato Pie. I'm that guy, he's so fly. Gotta get a taste of that sweet potato pie. I mean, girls like that song. I didn't really care for it. But unlike many artists from Bangin' on Wax, Domino crossed over into mainstream radio. His videos were played on MTV, BET, and of course The Box, practically overnight. And overnight, he became one of the biggest names in West Coast rap. And what separated Domino from that era, the rappers from that era? His sound, ladies and gentlemen. While gangster rap often focused on aggressive delivery, Domino mixed melody. He mixed humor, all within that G-Funk, laid-back Long Beach style that created songs like Getto Jam. And that song remains a staple of 1990s West Coast playlists today. His music appealed to fans who appreciated rolling up a J of that chronic on a nice sunny day. And that's one thing about Long Beach is we're pretty chill. Domino was the perfect person to represent a city like Long Beach. A city that, yes, we are super chill, laid back, just like Domino's flow. But just like some of Domino's lyrics, don't take that chillness, that slowness for weakness, because Long Beach will show you that we are not to be played with. Great city. I love the city of Long Beach, my favorite city in the whole wide world. So many mixtures of people, everything, ladies and gentlemen, Cambodian, Hispanic, black, white, Asian, everything under the sun is right here and right there in the city of Long Beach. I don't live there anymore. Wanted to buy a house in Long Beach as I got older, as I got to this age, but if you want to live in a nice area in Long Beach, it's pretty damn expensive, and I'm tired of living in the hoods of Long Beach. That's all I lived in when I was growing up. That's all I could afford. Even when I went back there as an adult to live for a little while, I could only live in apartments and ghetto. So no offense, but if I was going to live in Long Beach, I wanted to live in a very nice neighborhood, and Long Beach does have some very nice neighborhoods. But to get those very nice neighborhoods in Long Beach, you got to be willing to drop a lot of money. And ladies and gentlemen, I ain't balling like that. So I bought a house about 15 miles from Long Beach that would literally cost me $2 million if it was in Long Beach. It's just 15 miles out the way and half the price. So love my house, but I always got to visit Long Beach. I always got to pull up and grab some food. A couple of my favorite taco joints are in Long Beach. Some bomb Asian spots. I mean, Thai food, everything. Long Beach, if you want some food, some good food, I'm telling you, that is where you want to go. Go check out Long Beach, man. But Domino, back to Domino. Although his debut album was a major success, the music industry changed quickly. I mean, competition increased. Going back to the albums I read, 1993, 1994, 1995, there were some heavy hitters out there, ladies and gentlemen, and it was really hard. If you came out in 1992, 3, 4, 5, it was a really rough time to come out because you were going up against so many people, the E40s, Too Short, LL Cool J, 2 Live Crew. I mean, everybody was in it to win it. Everybody. So he continued to release albums, but nothing really ever came of it again. 1990s, 2000s, he was never really able to match the commercial success of his debut Getto Jam. He remained respected throughout the West Coast, unlike many artists from the era. He continued recording and he continued performing for longtime fans, doing old school concerts and things like that, which I'm all part of. A lot of these old school cats, and I don't call them old school. I don't know. Yeah, we'll call them old school. Be proud to be old school. But nostalgia's big right now. And these older artists, they're selling out stadiums. You know, they do it together with a bunch of other older groups, but they're selling out stadiums while these new guys, they can't sell out shit. They can't sell out tickets. All the older cats, even going to Jay-Z's in the world and all, these guys can all sell out everywhere. But these older cats, these newer cats can't sell out like these older cats can. But yeah, I'm sure if Domino's on a bill with a few other 90s nostalgia acts, I'm pretty sure they can definitely, sell out somewhere. A little 20,000 seater, right? But even though Domino didn't really blow up after that, his album he went stale after his album, and I say that respectfully. He definitely remains forever connected to Bangin' on Wax because that project gave many listeners their first introduction to his amazing voice. Even though many didn't realize Genuine Draft and Domino were the same person until years later. can't remember when I first found that out. I might have knew early on because I was a big hip-hop nerd, a big hip-hop fan. I feel like I knew that for a very long time, that Domino and Genuine Draft were the same person. But his legacy stretches across two different worlds, the underground and the mainstream. Could you imagine what he's seen? I know he has some stories. If he wasn't the one doing the things, he was in the room. Like he's seen some shit. He was on a level at one point. He could have been hanging out with the Diddies of the world. Not saying that he did anything. I'm just saying when you get to a certain level and you have 2 hit songs on the radio and you're traveling all over the country, you're seeing some shit. I would love to interview Domino. Definitely been one I've been chasing for a minute. Really been hard to lock him down. But one day, hopefully I can interview Domino. He will be remembered to the people from the BNC team as Genuine Draft. And others will remember him as the one who made the timeless classics Getto Jam and Sweet Potato Pie. And I can't forget about Long Beach, which is my favorite song on there probably. It's just a song called Long Beach. Long Beach. It's a Long Beach thing. I think it's called It's a Long Beach Thing. That's a good song. I like that song. It's a Long Beach Thing is a good song. I totally forgot about that one. But very few rappers have successfully crossed from a niche underground movement into mainstream success, and Domino did exactly that. His career proved that talent could open doors far beyond where an artist started. More than 30 years later, his music still receives millions of streams. His songs continue appearing on West Coast playlists, on old school radio, and his contributions to both Bangin' on Wax and 90s G-Funk remain an important part of West Coast hip-hop history. Thank you for tuning in to Dusty Vision TV. Please hit that like button if you have not already. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button. And if you enjoyed this video, you just might appreciate this bonus clip I'm about to play for you right now.
Most people don't understand that Insane and 20s were birthed on the same street, 21st Street, and our hoods are intertwined, where we share the same hoods, and not to mention half of us is related as well. So the war between 20s and Insane actually started off of individuals who was from 20s and Insane who was related. So the individual was from Insane, and his brother was from 20s. And the gentleman from Insane ended up, back in the day when we grew up, it was really a big thing for us to go to our gang meetings and be there and show up. It was really a big thing. It was almost like the service, you know. And so he got disciplined by some of his homeboys from Insane, and he ran to his brother. And I knew his brother pretty good too. And he went to his brother, and his brother was mad that some guys from Insane beat him up. So he went over there and he beat them up, and they shot and killed him. That was the first Long Beach between Insane and 20s. It started over, like most do, over a fight. A fight between, he was defending his little brother, period. His little brother was from Insane. His little brother got beat up by some other Insanes. And so he went back and he basically was defending his brother. And that was the first time that, you know, Insane and 20s ever really beefed nor warred with each other. Now, this same individual is part of Snoop's entourage, and, you know, I really don't want to mention him. There's nothing new. Many young cats out there that's fighting that war between Insane and 20s, and a lot of them don't even know what it's over. You know, we doing so much and killing out here in the streets, and we don't even be knowing what the first beef or the first argument started, you know. And in this instance, it started over, like I said, a gentleman from Insane, and I knew him too. I went to school with him as well. Like I said, he does music with Snoop, and yeah, he got disciplined. He got beat up by some of his own homeboys for not going to a gang meeting. And he went and ran and told his brother, and his brother went back and beat the guys up who done it, and they shot and killed him. And from that day forward, from I want to say 1986, there's been I've seen numerous people just die over that beef. You know what I mean? Where it started at. And the question is, we know where it started, how to end it.
Yeah.
Like I said, most people will never understand how the war between Insane and 20s is, because other gangs, they have different territories. You have the Hoovers over here, you have the A-Trays over there. You have the Bloods over here, you have the Crips over there. Where's the different in Long Beach? Insane and 20s, we share the same hood. We're birthed on the same street, 21st Street. Half of us is related. So we're warned against not only our own family, but we're warned against the own people in our own neighborhood that we share it with.
Yeah.
Which made it really violent, because you can't really go anywhere. The moment you turn the street, you are already, in some things. So,
And you started banging in 85 at age 12, if my memory serves me correct, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That day, I tell people, I say a lot of people got a lot of negative personas or negative thoughts of what they believe or what a gang member is, and this and that. And first thing they think of, he's a thief, a robber, a criminal, and everything else. But the natural fact is that it's supposed to be more like a family, especially for a lot of young men who grew up without a father or grew up without a family, or family that was hooked on crack back in that time. So to come together as a family, it was a neighborhood family. And that's how, when I grew up, we were raised, you know what I mean? And we protected each other accordingly to that. It wasn't just you just ran out there and did something just because you wanted to. It was a real family. You joined the family. And I joined the family. Part of my family is from Insanes, and the other half of my family from 20s, and the other half are all Bloods. We all get along, and when I joined 20s, it was almost like I was born into the neighborhood. I got other uncles in LA who were part of the ones who helped start Neighborhood 20 Bloods. So, my whole family is not just of gang members, but they're a founding father of gangs. They're people who started gangs. So as I was born, it was almost I was born into a gang, because my family was ones who started and created gangs.
All right, so 75, 76, you're 8 years old. You said you decided to join this street life around 11. What was a young Capone doing just before he decided to join a gang? What type of activity were you doing?
I was working at Will Rogers Park with this guy called the Snowman, the Snower. He had a snow cone machine in a van, and we used to sell snow cone at Will Rogers Park every day. And he used to pay me $5 a day to stay there all day and help him make snow cones, go get him water, empty stuff, clean around his area, and also to keep the gang bangers away, because a lot of them knew me, because I used to play sports at that park, so I knew a lot of people, and I kind of they knew he had me employed, sort of, so they didn't sweat him. So they're like, he's looking out for the little guy, so we ain't gonna mess with him. I can't remember that guy's name, but they called him the Snow Cone Man. He had a black van, and he made it. So I was doing that. I was cutting grass. We had push lawnmowers. Me and my buddy did a push lawnmower. We had one of those little, what they call it, you push around parts in. We had to go door to door, not going to go ask people if they want their lawns cut. We charged $7 for front, $10 for front and back. I remember it. And it didn't matter how high the grass was, we'd get it done, man. So I was always a hustler, man. That's what my thing was. I always made money from the age of 7. And then when I moved to my neighborhood, I was painting for my manager. He had an ice cream truck. I was working on his ice cream truck. I was sweeping the apartment. And then I remember around 81, we started pumping gas at our neighborhood gas station. We get 25 to $1 to $2. Some people even gave us $5 just to pump their gas. And I remember that. And that time, I don't think nobody was doing that. This is right when you start having to pay. They used to be that you could pump the gas and then pay later, but this is when they cut that out. And I used to do that, man. So I was a hustler, man. I wasn't really into gangs And then I moved over there in '79, and from Watts actually, I moved from Watts and Compton, North Long Beach, and I was to go to school at the 6th grade. I met a lot of guys. We started hanging out. They became my friends, and then eventually I just started playing in the neighborhood.
What was North Long Beach like at that time in the late 70s?
It was a lot different from growing up in Compton and Watts because they had more white people, and it was like kind of like a culture shock because when I was coming from Watts and Compton, I didn't have that many white people around me. So when you get to Long Beach, you got these white people using the N-word, disrespectful. So I stayed in a lot of fights, bro. I fought a lot because I wasn't
hard ER?
with the hard ER, the N-word, yes. And I wasn't having that, especially around growing up in Compton and Watts. We wasn't taking no losses like that. So I was in the office a lot to fight. And then they had these guys, they call them the Northtown Stoners. I don't even know if they still exist.
I've heard of them.
In North. Oh, yeah, they used to get pit Dobermans and chase us with them and stuff like that. So we used to catch them in the hallways and put hands on them. But, yeah, they was like, it was bad. And I ended up even getting into it with a couple of teachers because they had some animosity towards me because I was from Compton and Watts. And when I'm in Long Beach, I guess the effect I was having on the kids, they were like, you think you're tough because you're from Compton and Long Beach, and I grew up in this and that. And I'm like, whoa. So I even had to have my mom come up to the school a few times to check some teachers about, like, trying to put their hands on me for no reason, just because of where I was from. Because I wasn't going along with the get along, if you know what I mean. And at this time, in 79, 80, 81, they had just started busing. So now they're busing us from North Long Beach, which is a lot more black people, to the east side of Long Beach. And these are really white areas. This was back then, it was really white areas. So you mean we really got a lot of racism when we was bused from North Long Beach to the east side of Long Beach, because they was not trying to have all these black kids coming to their school. Even the teachers was making jokes, and I mean, we used to really get into some problems with people out there, man. I fought a lot. I ended up getting suspended from the whole Long Beach Unified School District and had to go back to Watts because I had almost 22 fights in like 2 semesters.
Damn.
Yeah, I was a scrapper, man. Wow. I was a scrap.
Damn. All right, man. It's a weird time in our country, not just the city of Los Angeles, but this is where it started. So it's safe to say this next comment. But, you know, the transition from the early 70s to the early to mid 80s, where you noticed a transition to crack cocaine hitting the streets. What do you remember about that doing to your community specifically when, you know, we went from PCP being the big thing to now crack, and you got gangster rap and you got bigger guns on the street? What do you remember about that time?
I remember that well because we had a few guys, not necessarily from our neighborhood, but lived in our neighborhood, that used to smoke PCP a lot. I mean, and that was a big thing in my neighborhood.
Yeah,
PCP.
that shit stinks.
And we ended up losing a couple of guys to that. One of them is a guy named Cuban. He jumped in the water. He used to jump in the water on PCP all the time when somebody saved him, but this one time, nobody was there. He ended up drowning. I remember as a kid, I was about 11, 12. I remember that they pulling him out the gurney like he didn't make it. His stomach blew up. Just a minute, Dr. Police.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm rolling. Police is behind me. Okay. Yeah. So, and I remember I ended up going to juvenile hall when I was 15. For some stuff I did, I ended up getting into it with the agents. We had a lot of problems with the agents before the riots. This is in '85.
Oh man, okay, yeah. It was going on back then too, huh?
Yeah. '85, we had a lot of problems with the agents. So one of these Asian guys at the liquor store ended up hitting one of my buddies. Actually, he hit the guy who gave me my name. He hit him with a bat in his hand because he said he was trying to steal something out the store. So I ended up doing something to him, which I regret later. And to make a funny story, he ended up moving out here, and he ended up being good friends with my mom, and he ended up moving out here as well. And I seen him about 15 years ago. He passed along there, and he was like, I said, man, what are you doing out here? But anyway, I'm going off the subject, but yeah, he ended up hitting my buddy. So I went to jail, juvenile hall. So when I get out, I remember it's July of 1986. I see all these dudes in my neighborhood with all these cars, all these diamonds, all these rings, and I'm like, what's going on? What y'all doing? I got a buddy, I ain't gonna say his name, but he a good dude, and he he introduced me to the rocks. He's like, man, we selling these. Show me a bag. Bunch of little rocks and big rocks. I'm like, man, what is that? He said, man, this is money right here. And I was like, bro, I don't want to touch that, man. I said, I just got out of jail. I was supposed to do a 90-day, what they call it when you go in there for 90 days. I ended up doing 9 months. So I don't want to do anything. I end up telling him after 2 weeks, I see all my friends with cars, money, clothes, and I'm sitting here broke, busted. I'm working with my mom at her job. I'm making $3.25 an hour. I remember that. $3.25 an hour. And this is just 85, 86, so it's not that long ago. And I'm like, man, I need you to show me how to do that. And my buddy showed me he gave me a packet. He said, this is worth $10. This is worth $5. This is worth $20. And if they got 50, give them this. He said, I'm going to give you this. This is $50. I want you to give me $50. You make $100 out of it. And he showed it to me. I started selling. Right in my neighborhood, right out my mama's house, actually. She didn't know it. For a long time, she didn't know it. Because my mom worked so much, she never was home. And that started in 86, man. I got out, and that's when the dope game. I mean, I saw how it was. Oh, man. It had the neighborhood with a lot of money, but it had a lot of people messed up, bro. A lot of people.
Yeah.
It was deep, man.
You mentioned to me in one of our messages that you just got done doing 22 years.
Yeah, I just did 22 years. I did got caught up in like a little manslaughter bid shit with the homies. You know, when I did my little time, I made my way back to society.
Well, welcome home, and I appreciate you sharing your story with us tonight.
Oh yeah, no problem. No problem.
Now, to the best of your knowledge, what gangs were around before Crips and Bloods came to Macon?
All right, before Crips and Bloods came to Macon, we went through like the sorority phases, like Sigma Psi Phi, Omega Psi Phi, like little regular hood stuff. Then it advanced to like what you would call West Side Posse, FBI, which would be fellas being intelligent. We had ADE, another devastating example. We had something called Kings, which turned around to be the Mafia. Kings stood for the instances gangster style. And before the Crips and the Bloods came, the West Side was just the West Side, period. You know, you had the different sections. You had Bellevue. You had, of course, my neighborhood, Duncan Avenue, Unionville. You know, you had Low Street, a couple of streets that made Oglethorpe. All those places were just regular neighborhoods that transferred to being gang or part of the gang movement. Macon has been banging since the 80s. Like, the first gangs we had in Macon, the Thunder Macon, were the Crips. The insane Crips came to Macon in the late 80s. You know, so the transitions went from like the late 80s. Atlanta really didn't start gang banging until like the early 2000s. You know, you had not just Macon though. You had Savannah, Columbus, Albany. All those places were like gang banging before Atlanta even thought about doing any gang stuff. You know, so that was just a factual thing. You know, Macon used to be 912, but they changed the area code to 478 because of the gang activity. Because you know the gang said it is 912.
Now, you said Insane Crips. That's as in from Long Beach, California?
Yeah,
okay.
The Long Beach guys, the Gaithers were very influential in the culture down there where we from. They came in like the late 80s, 88, 89, 87. They came by then. Matter of fact, the dude that started Young Foundation for the YC, Chris Gaither, he was from Long Beach. You know, he's one of the first dudes that had a chance to interact in Macon, Georgia.
Okay. That's interesting to me most definitely because I'm born and raised in Long Beach. So
you know, I know a couple of people out there, you know, that we interact with, you know, like I said, the Gators most definitely were in Macon. They've been in Macon a long time.
Okay.
You know, for the longest, you know, doing their thing, you know. So they were like the first look, rocking the Raiders, you know, rocking the Raiders gift, coming to the Mac, doing their thing. You know, they came, you know, as a lot of California dudes do, they come with the drug trade, you know. You know, you come and it's like a thing to hustle for them, but it's also introducing the culture to other people when they do come. So when they start mingling and mixing with the people down in our area, it grew to something greater.
In my studies on Macon, Georgia, I heard the name Andre Taylor or Gangsta Dre. Can you talk about his importance to bringing Crips to Macon?
Well, you know, he's like the founder and the forefather of the 912 Crips. You know, he's the one that started the 912 Crips. Everything that comes from that comes from him. You know, he is the founder. You know, there's no other person that could be designated as a founder other than him. He's the person that really put it down to make it where, you know, we are what we are. You know, we're independent state. You know, we don't fall up under any caliphate. We are on independent state in the South. Like one of the first ones over here like that.
And he was killed at a young age. And is that mural still up of him?
Oh yeah, you know that's never going anywhere. You know that's gonna be there long as the streets in the making of this. You know that's gonna be there. That's never ever going anywhere.
Has anyone tried to like desecrate the mural or anything?
Hell no, that'll never happen.
Be a bad day for him, probably.
Man, that'll never happen. They'll never get the opportunity to do that. You know, we always up there that's still around that mural, so it's probably no way impossible that will ever happen.
Okay, all right.
You know, he doesn't just have respect from the Crips. He has respect from all the gangs that make. You know what I'm saying? When he died, it brought the city out and together as a whole. You know, his death changed a lot about bringing people more together than anything. You know, it didn't have a negative reaction on the city him dying.
Okay.
You know, it brought more people together than anything. You know.
And what I understand, he gave back to the community. I mean, he
fed a lot of people. Most definitely. You know, he was the type of guy that encouraged the young guys to do better. As you know, his son went on to play pro football.
Is that QT?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's QT. You know what I'm saying? So he went on to play Detroit Lions 87. You know what I'm saying? He went on to play pro football. The things he instilled in his son, he tried to instill in a lot of the younger homies. But at the same time, you can't make a person take something that you're trying to give them, you know? So, you know, with the streets calling, a lot of people go astray, but he tried his best to influence as many of the homies as he could to do better for themselves.
You mentioned happy music earlier. You know, our music was happy. You know, DJ Quick, tonight is... We were having fun around 89, 90, 91. And then when the riots hit, and then something automatically changed with the music as well. And I want your thoughts on this. But we went from the house party generation, Bright Colors, African Medallions, Black Pride, Public Enemy, X-Clan, you know what I mean? Paris, you know, all this. Right. And then in 92, you know, The Chronic comes out. And instead of dancing, we're bopping. Instead of bright clothes, we're wearing black clothes and baggy ass jeans. You know, and it changed almost everything. And that. Do you think that was by design? Is what I want to ask you.
Yes, it was very much by design. Because you got to understand something. Like you said, we grew up in the Carl Canal cross color era. Right. Before that, it was khakis and Levi's and whatever it was. Right. So when we started getting our little money, like, let me see, 93, 94, we started having our little money. Now we wearing Air Maxes and Getto jeans and polo shirts. We're changing. And yes, it was by design because it's meant, that's how they meant it to be. You understand what I'm telling you? If the culture doesn't change, everything stays the same. If there's no change, nothing grows, nothing evolves. That's all the music did was evolve. You just had a bunch of artists that was just talking about shit in their neighborhood. Easy N was already doing it, but when we got that Dre and Snoop era, it was over with. Then you had Biggie with Ready to Die. You had Nas with Stillmatic. You know what I mean? You had Jay-Z with Reasonable Doubts. You had all this. You had Mobb Deep. We was listening to different music, so we were on different shit. We were wearing Timberlands and shit too. We wasn't on no East Coast, West Coast shit. We was popping. So yes, it was by design, bro. Good and bad. Because music is way okay. Music is on frequencies. Right. Music is written in notes. So if I keep telling you, kill, sell dope, rob, kill, sell dope, rob, it's like a trance. You know what I'm saying? If you keep singing it, because you're gonna sing along with the song in your car. It's a trance.
Oh, you're breaking it down.
Then it's a loop. And after that, if you go back to like 95, 96, 97, now we 15, 16, 7. Now we got our own cars, got our own apartments, and now we listen to Juvenile telling the bitch back that thing up. You know what I mean? So now it's affecting the women now. Because at first it wasn't affecting the women. The only one that was coming out talking nasty was Lil' Kim and Trina.
Exactly.
We didn't have no, them was all Cardi B's and all Megan Thee Stallions. You know what I'm saying? They was just talking about that and treating them and treating Lil' Kim was just talking about fucking you and taking the dope out of town, and then maybe we can see something after that. But other than that, nah.
Yeah, now you got Sexy Red telling us what color her pussy hole is and her booty hole is.
Listen, and then they teach the shit to the kids in school.
They had these girls dancing. There's some shit.
Yeah, like twerking and shit. Like I called my motherfucking 40-year-old little niece tweaking. I kicked her right in her ass. What the fuck is she doing? We doing that shit.
Yeah, and that's
But it's repeated. So yeah, it's by design, bro. It's by design to keep it. It's by design to keep people of color dumb, deaf, and stupid.
You know, I have a question.
Dumb, deaf, and stupid.
Yeah. Let's we're gonna be bouncing around a little bit, but going back to the peace treaty, because I wasn't banged, I never banged or anything like that. But did Long Beach have any involvement in any peace at that time? Because obviously there's sets in Long Beach that
I think yeah, we did. I had really 92. I was really starting out. I was 12, 13, so I was really starting out. But we didn't really have no shit like that. Not like it calmed all the way down for a little while. Our real uprising was before the riots and after, because like I said, after 95, 96, 97, we started to really move around in the game. You know what I mean? And we fucking with motherfuckers that's in the game heavy, and so it's turning over. You know what I mean? So peace was cool for a second because the money was involved. Again, they go to government. Money is involved. You know what I mean? We all know everything in America comes to a port. Once you close the port down, can't nothing come in. Nigga ain't driving all the way from Long Beach to LA to get no motherfucking work. I'm not.
Right.
I ain't got that type of goddamn patience. You know what I mean? And then you gotta look at this about the peace treaty. It's really geographics. Ain't no bloods in Long Beach. So it's not really like a peace treaty as far as like the East Coast and the Swans will have a peace treaty. You understand what I'm saying? It's not like it wasn't like that for us. We was already beefing and not beefing and beefing on and on. But the peace was cool. I enjoyed it for a minute. I like seeing my childhood friends that's from that side of the neighborhood and got to get a chance to talk to them and hug them without a motherfucking gun on them. Yeah, I enjoyed it for a minute. I enjoyed it real well.
You know, Long Beach has always been seen as an all Crip city. Why do you think Long Beach has never had a true established blood set in Long Beach, just like, you know, many other cities in LA County?
It wouldn't have survived. It wouldn't have survived. The closest thing about to us is probably Wilmington and San Pedro, the moves over that, waterfronts and the East Side Pains and all them over there. But it wouldn't survive. And we be giving the niggas something to do, bro. Cause they not gonna go. The homies, niggas is not gonna go for that. I know niggas from everywhere, every hood in Long Beach. They not gonna go for it. It's just something they not gonna. It's just something that we just got to keep going because it's been going for this long. But it wouldn't have survived, bro. It wouldn't have made it.
Makes a lot of sense.
It wouldn't have survived at all. They would have too much to deal with, and no allies.
All right, we are here at Gemworks Fest in the city of El Monte. The homeboy Tech the Super Latin is putting on a dope event for 2 days. It's pro wrestling and hip hop mix. Let's go check it out. Should be a fun time. I do put on dope events. I've been to a few of his events and they are awesome. Gemworks Fest, it's about to go down. There he is, what's up, Tech? What's up, man? How you doing, man? Man, I'm all sweaty. Don't even worry about it, man. Don't even worry about it. I'm about to take a tour shower right now. Do your thing. In the bathroom. Do your thing. This is Texas Super Latin. Get a little behind the scenes. Right. Now, brother Mod. Nice. What up, lady? boy Packy Chan in the building. Where can they follow you, Packy?
Mr. Bill Packman.
Mr. Bill Packman. Come a little bit closer, close as you can, yeah.
Mr. Bill Packman.
There we go, Mr. Bill Packman.
M-R-B-I-L-L. No. Sorry,
This guy.
I'm fucking high right now. Yeah.
Already?
I've been here since 11.
It's 12 o'clock.
A couple dabs, a couple joints, but M-R-B-I-L-L-P-A-C-K.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna ask you a few questions, man.
Ask away, bro.
All right. Who is your top 5 dead or alive stars?
Anastasia Blue.
Oh, okay.
She's
My man
dead.
has a list.
She actually
R.I.P.
dead.
Anastasia Blue.
She dead. She did. She overdosed. Stephanie Swift was the first porn star that I ever heard about.
Stephanie Swift, I remember her.
Heather Hunt.
Heather Hunt. Heather Hunter.
Hunter, there we go.
Ah, the black
Heather
girl.
Hunt. Yeah, there we go. Emily Willis.
Okay, I don't know that one. All right.
What's that one? She's an oldie girl. She's in the guilt section.
Nina Hartley.
Yes.
Dog.
Yes.
I saw it in your eye. That woman, Nina Hartley, taught me so much.
That's a guilt.
She taught me a lot when I was a kid,
Oh my
man.
God.
If you could choose one song to play every time you walked into a room, what song would it be?
Rolling by Limp Bizkit.
Rolling by Limp Bizkit. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Rolling, rolling,
Just because I know
rolling.
it gets some people's nerves.
There you go. I hate that song.
See, exactly.
I hate that song. I love you, brother.
Let me do brother.
All right, who do I have with me?
That's Deshaun Showtime Watkins.
And Oscar Moreno.
Yes, yes. Compton Mania in the building, man. Yeah. All right, I got a few questions for you, man.
Okay.
All right, let's see. Go back with your ex or party with P. Diddy for one night?
After the last couple of weeks, I'll probably go back with my ex.
Oh, damn.
Okay, here, can I explain it?
You can. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm not going backwards, but I ain't fucking with P. Diddy with that freak shit. But listen, I'm down to talk to anybody to figure out how I can go further. Ain't nobody getting none of these cheeks, homie. Straight up. Straight
That's a
up.
deal breaker.
Yeah, no, we're not giving up no cheeks, baby.
All right.
Yeah, I don't do them kind of parties.
Team Cat. No, sir.
All right, man. If you could choose one song to play every time you walk into a room, what song would you choose and why?
It will be Chance the Rapper, I Might Need Security.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
What you got? What you got?
Damn.
Mine is Poppin' Circumstance, by the way. Macho Man Randy Savage. Ooh,
What
yeah.
is it? Seek and Destroy?
Okay, by who?
Was that Metallica?
Okay, that's kind of aggressive too.
Yeah, like when you enter, like I'm telling you, it's not just about being in the wrestling. Like I see myself as someone that just anytime I enter a room, you want to have that energy.
All right, next question. Sexy Red texts you right now and says she's trying to hit. You smashing Sexy Red or you passing?
Pass.
You passing. Yeah,
pass.
Why we passing on Sexy Red?
I love my woman. And yeah, no.
Hypothetical world though.
Okay,
We in
still.
hypothetical world.
Nah,
It ain't happening.
Nah,
Ain't
yeah.
happening.
Hypothetical, I'll say yes.
Okay. That's it. And most of y'all would too, you lying bastards. All right, man. Where can everybody find you, dog?
Compton Mania everywhere. Woozy!
Yeah, they give the best shows. I'm not even just saying that because he's right here.
It's just getting started.
God, this guy, his shows are amazing. If you get a chance, check out a Compton Mania show. I've been to a couple myself. They are really, really good. I'm not BSing you. Check this dude out. Where can we find you, Oscar?
Instagram at @Moreno_1999.
There it is, man. Appreciate both you guys.
All right, thank
Appreciate you, brothers.
Dusty Vision!
Elastic measures, I'm about to get you with the new with this never sweating the cap with less.
Sign my name on the groupie, the sharper on the boobies, and I still come off the top like a toupee. Yeah, I came from the sip in like 2 days, went back 2 hours. That mean I'm up too late, and my flow is too great. Hey, I don't pause or hesitate. I get high till I levitate. Oh no, I'm raw. I'm filthy like dog paws and country like hog maws.
Hey, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. All right, who do I have with me?
All right, it's Jay the Street checking in live from the mighty Mississippi, by way of Memphis. You know what I'm saying? happy to be in the building. Shout out to the West Coast from the 3rd Coast, Mississippi, you know. Yeah.
Shout out Mississippi, man. Shout out. Well, welcome to California. Your first time here?
No, it's my second time here, but I need to come more. Like, I've been having a blast.
That's what's up.
Shout out to the welcoming committee. Shout out to Jim Work, Take the Super Lad. You know what I'm saying? It's the homie.
Yeah, I love it. All right, let's get into a few questions, man. Let's see. First question: go back with your ex or party with P Diddy for one night?
My ex wasn't that bad.
You ain't trying to see what them P Diddy parties is about?
I don't know. I'm skeptical.
If you had to drive across country right now, and your only 2 choices for driver were Donald Trump or Joe Biden, who you riding with?
I'm riding with Trump.
You ain't let Biden ride the wheel?
Nah, I don't know when the last time Biden drove. Like, we talking about just sitting in the car? Yeah.
I feel you.
Yeah, I'm cool. I ride with Biden staff.
I feel you. All right. Love this guy.
Yeah.
All right. Sexy Red texts you right now and says she's trying to hit. You smashing Sexy Red or you passing?
I'm passing.
Passing on Sexy Red?
Yeah, I'm cool on Sexy.
Damn. Why, bro?
I got my reasons, man. One, I saw her do a whole campaign with Sukiana about how she wouldn't get no STDs this year.
Oh,
but she put this year on there. So,
see, that's all I need to hear.
You got to pay attention to the details, man. I'll be reading between the lines.
Smart man right here, smart man. Well, thank you so much. Welcome to California for your second time. Shout out to Mississippi, man. Where can everybody find you?
You can find me at J Discreet, JAYDASKREET, Discreet. Spell it like I said, you know, get out the street.
Love it. You hopping on the mic today?
Oh, definitely. At some point in time.
Okay, perfect. Yeah. Pleasure to meet you, my brother. Much success, man. Who do I have with me? And and these are my homegirls from TKK Radio. All right, I know both of you ladies partake in marijuana. It's a lovely herb of this earth. Tell us about the highest that you've ever been. Let's start with these.
The first time I ever did moon rocks, right? I was in Queens. I was on our rooftop, and it felt like I was sitting down, and then after that blunt with the moon rock, I was sitting down, but my body felt like it shooted to the sky. Like it was nighttime and everything, and I was like, I had my first like outer body experience.
I have to say it was with my cousin. We took some edibles before we went into Universal Studios one time, and the edibles kicked in so hard during the tram tour, the iconic tram tour, and it was like when King Kong was coming out and all that, and the dinosaurs. I was so stoned. I looked back and my cousin was just like normal bliss and everything. I was like, this is crazy.
Where can we find you, ladies?
On Instagram, me__CUS and TKK Radio.
Right.
No, you can find me at HighHopEC on Instagram, and then also TKKRadio.com on Instagram and .com.
Spooky season is here, and I love Halloween. We just pulled up to this bar called the Cauldron. It's a Halloween themed bar, and we're gonna go check it out. Let's go peep the gang. Halloween, baby. Let's go. Thank you. Nice. Check this out. There's my favorite place right there, the bar. Cool paintings. Oh yeah, I like this place.
What's my name?
Yeah. Over Christmas, over Thanksgiving, over all those holidays, my favorite holiday is Halloween, baby. My favorite time of year at that is the fall, right after the summer. Weather cools down a little bit. I'm over the water. I'm over the summer. Good job, baby. Baby got us a front row seat.
Did you order me a lager? Oh, okay. Ooh, very cool spot. We're gonna drink and check it out.
I've seen that one and one. Oh, I'm sorry, not this one. The basic one and the one with the flowers. But I haven't seen that one.
You're having this conversation.
I thought it was like a ketchup snipe. What do you get on my card? There you guys are. Thank you guys so much. I do apologize for making you come over here for it, but thank you. No. Oh, hey, what's going on, man? How you doing? Doing good, doing good. What are you drinking? Just Bishop Blonde Ale. Okay, all right, here. Yeah, I'm gonna close it. All right. $7.50. Thank you. I appreciate you. Everybody.
I should dim the lights.
So now that they dim the lights a little bit, the ambiance in here is so much better.